Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I am so excited to tell you guys that we have completed 1,000 subscribers on our channel, and it's just amazing. Cannot thank you enough to you guys who really supported me and took some time out from their day to watch my videos. Amazing. Thank you so much. And there are some people, if you're watching this video for the second time, that means there's something you like about me or about this channel, so please consider subscribing to my channel. And did you guys notice my new haircut?
Wow.
Yes, I was actually saving it for my birthday month, but you never know, right? Because there's a cases rising again, and you never know when we will be the next lockdown coming, right? So it's better to do it earlier, and completing 1,000 subscribers will be the perfect occasion for it, right? Okay, so enough talking. I feel like it's been a week, almost a week I didn't talk to you guys, so there's so much to talk about. So please, Apoorva, just shut your mouth now. Okay, so let's talk about today's video. So me and Rohit, my husband, we were thinking about something like what to do with the property in Edmonton. Should I sell it? Should I just keep it? Or look for something here in Ontario, right? But we are not that much aware about the market since the pandemic hits, right? So the best idea to go with an export, and luckily we have a friend who is Realtor. So we have invited her in this video, so please watch the video till the end. It is really gonna be interesting video. Guys, we have one of our friends, Simmi, and she's a really good realtor. She really helped us in buying, looking out from rental property. So if you guys interested in buying any property or in the rental property, she is definitely the right person for you, and she will definitely help you out with this. So passing to you, Simmi.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for such kind words. My name is Simmi, as Apoorva mentioned. I'm actually working with Remax Hallmark. I've been with Remax now for 10 years, so a mix of doing reception and then being an agent. Mainly, I work in Peel region and Toronto, but I do service all of GTA, and I usually work on residential and condos. So if you do have any questions about buying, selling, or leasing, feel free to reach out to me. Or reach out to Apoorva, and then she can connect with you.
Definitely, I will redirect you guys to her. I would love to, yeah. Today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for taking your time out from your busy schedule.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate that.
Yep, okay. So I wrote down some of my questions, so it's easy. So my very first question is, how's the market right now?
The market currently is very, very aggressive. So right now, a lot of properties, they're receiving multiple offers, more so the freehold market. So I'm talking about detached properties, semi-detached properties, townhouses. For the most part, you're seeing every property end up with 20 to 60 offers. So it's been very aggressive and very competitive for buyers. For sellers, though, everything they want, they're pretty much getting. They're getting the closing they want. They're getting the price that they want. So it's been a very good, very strong sellers market and a very, very competitive buyers market. On the condo side, though, condos have picked up since December. So condo prices have started going up as well. Condos are also going through multiple offers, just not as aggressively as the freehold market yet. But overall, everything is looking like a seller's market.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So as you already know that we have a fourplex townhouse in Edmonton, so that's why we were trying to sell it off and thinking about investing, because I heard that market is good. So you're the best, you're the expert into it, so that's why I thought to contact you. Yep, so my second question is, can I afford a home during this time? I saw something on news yesterday that prices are lower in the morning, but they're reaching, like in afternoon, they're like sky high prices. So
Yeah,
so that's my question. Yeah.
You're pretty much correct. Honestly, a lot of the times what I'm seeing is like a property could have sold last week on the same street, and the next week it's 50,000, 100,000 greater than the previous sale. Yeah. So can I afford a home during the pandemic? That honestly all goes down to your qualification. So how the income is looking, how the down payment is looking, how the credit is looking. That would give a good guideline on what you can and can't afford. Right now, the one tip is being very aggressive. If you are a buyer looking in this market, you have to be very well equipped to place a good, strong offer on a property. A lot of the times also these properties, they're listed $799, but they'll sell at $1 million, or they're listed $1 million, they sell at 1.4. So you have to just keep in mind, a lot of these are underpriced and they're just the marketing value, not the actual price that the seller is looking for. So don't be fooled by that. Don't be discouraged by that. It is doable. People are transacting. People are buying during this time. Last month, we had over 10,000 transactions. So it is still happening. So definitely talking to like a mortgage specialist or the bank and just getting an idea of your approval, that will help guide how much you can get approved for and where you can look.
Okay, awesome. So how much is, like, as you already explained about the closing cost, right? That $799, it can go up to $1 million. So can you give a little bit elaborate about the closing cost?
Yeah. So closing costs are pretty much the fees that you pay for your home. Once your offer is accepted and you give the deposit, in between that period and to the actual closing day when you get the keys from the lawyer. So if that's 1 month, if that's 4 months, whatever it is, it's the period in between. You would have a bunch of fees that you have to pay to close off your transaction. This would include legal fees, so towards your lawyer, land transfer tax, title insurance, appraisal fees, inspection fees. There's quite a few, but that's the main fees that you would have to pay. For the most part, they usually vary between 1.5 to 4% of your purchase. So 1.5 to 4% of your purchase price. So if it's $1 million, 1.5% to 4% of that, you can kind of anticipate that. For first-time buyers, just as a little tip, usually I notice this on the lower end. So usually somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5% is the closing fees for a first-time buyer. And then it depends on location. Toronto would have 2 land transfer taxes, so you pay a little bit more closing fees for Toronto versus Mississauga or Oakville.
Okay, awesome. And how much is the down payment? I know that you can give 5% down payment, and I guess you get some discount when you give 20% discount. So can you elaborate a little bit that down payment thing as well?
No problem. So for the minimum down payment required, so if we're just talking about minimum, if you are looking to purchase up to $500,000, the minimum required is 5%, so $25,000. If you're thinking of buying something at 700, 800, anything between 500,000 and $1 million, the first 500,000 you have to put down 5%, and then whatever is on top of the 500, it's 10%. So if you're buying, let's say, an 800K property, the first 500 would be 25,000, and then the remaining would be 30,000. 800 minus 500, so 300,000. 10%, 30,000 plus 25, 55,000. And then if you're looking at $1 million and up, you have to do 20% flat. There's no getting around the 20%. This is, once it's $1 million, the bank is a little more wary about insuring your mortgage, so you have to do the 20%. The one thing is, this applies if credit is in good standing and the income is qualifying. Because if the income doesn't qualify or the credit is not in good standing, you might not get away with minimum down payment. And this is for first-time buyers.
Okay, perfect. If I have a 500 or 600K budget, what are the things that I can go for, like in Toronto, GTA area?
Most likely with 500 or 600,000, which is a typical first-time homebuyer budget, you're mainly looking at a condo. I think a condo townhouse would get a little tight. There are certain pockets you can still find condo townhouses, maybe a 2-bedroom, possibly a 3, but most likely you'll have a lot more condo options. More so, it is actually doable even downtown Toronto for like a 1-bedroom. If you wanted like a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom, you're looking more into like a Etobicoke, Scarborough, even Mississauga near Square One is a very nice area as well. So you might have to just spread out a little bit, but it's doable for downtown Toronto as well.
Okay. About first time buyers, what are the benefits that you get if you buy first time a house in Canada?
So there is the first time homebuyer incentive. That's pretty much when the government helps you out with your loan. So if you're looking at a resale property, the government will help out with at least 5% of your loan amount. So if you provide at least 5% for the property, the government will also give you 5%. And for
Okay.
pre-construction, Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. And for pre-construction, I think my site just had a uh,
Okay.
for pre-construction, it's 5 to 10% of the loan amount that they'll provide you.
Mm-hmm.
With this program, though, the maximum purchase price is $565,000, somewhere in the mid 500s. So
Okay.
you're a little restricted there. You have to make sure that the property is worth less than that. So most likely it ends up being a condo in the GTA or Toronto area. How
Okay.
the government does this, they'll actually multiply your income by 4.5 times to qualify you for your loan amount. And
Okay.
they will have a stake in your property. So I know sometimes it's a kind of a deterrent for people, but some
Mm-hmm.
people don't mind this program regardless of this. So let's say you bought the property at $500,000 and the government provided you with 5% down payment. That would be $25,000 that they have stake in your property. So let's say in 10 years
Okay.
you decide to sell it and it's
Mm-hmm.
$1 million then. At that point, that 5% has become 50,000. So when you decide to
Oh,
sell
okay.
it, the government will get back their 50,000. So yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
they get a
crazy.
stake. I know. So that's kind of deterring for some people with the program, but there's that program which some people have used. There's also
Mm-hmm.
the land transfer tax rebate. So when you are
Okay.
a first-time home buyer, you get a rebate on your land transfer tax when you purchase a property.
Okay.
So if you buy in Toronto, you'll get two rebates, and if you buy in the GTA, you get one rebate. I
Okay.
believe it's $4,475 and
Mm-hmm.
$4,000 for outside of Toronto.
Okay.
And then lastly, there's also the mortgage, the minimum down payment I was discussing. That applies for
Okay.
first buyers.
Okay. 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 Why pre-approval is required?
So pre-approval, actually, it's very important. What makes it so important is actually it helps guide the entire search.
Mm-hmm.
So once you've talked to a mortgage rep or the bank and we find out, this is what you qualify at, you can bring this back to your realtor and discuss, okay, what are my options under this budget? But when you don't
Okay.
know what your budget is, you're kind of aimlessly looking everywhere, right? So you might be wasting
Okay.
your
Yeah.
time looking at properties way outside of your budget or way below your budget and you didn't know you could
That's
afford
correct.
more, right? Or you afford
Mm-hmm.
less.
Yep.
So
That's correct.
it, yeah, that becomes it becomes a lot better when someone does have some type of guideline, and it does help on the real estate side too. Just when
Mm-hmm.
competing, right now, as I discussed earlier, the market is very, very hot, and people are competing very heavy. So they're bringing in firm offers with no conditions. For individuals who haven't gotten their financing done, they usually have to put in a mortgage condition or a financing condition. So when a
Mm-hmm.
seller sees this and they have 20 other offers on the table that are firm, most likely your offer is not going to be considered unless the price is way higher than those prices.
Okay.
So on the real estate side, just to compete, it's really nice to know if we do have to come in firm, we can come in firm and we don't have to worry about our mortgage not working out.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last question, Simi. Sorry to bother you. Um, can you buy any car or any other invest? Can you do any other investment, heavy expenditure before closing the property?
I would highly recommend not doing any heavy expenditure before closing, just because you're adding more debt to your file. And once you add more debt to your file, you're limiting your eligibility. So let's
Okay.
say you just bought a property and you're closing it as in a month and you're very happy, you go get yourself a new car. That car is now in your file. So when the
Oh,
mortgage funds have to be released before closing, they're going to see that you have this expensive purchase on your file and your eligibility might get cut. So I would highly
okay.
recommend with any expensive purchase, just try to wait till after closing. If it's a 2 month closing, I would just be patient, wait till after the 2 months. Otherwise, you're putting your purchase of buying a property kind of on the line at that point.
Oh, that's really sad. Good to
Yeah.
know, but what is this stress test?
Test, it essentially means that you have to prove on paper when obtaining a mortgage that you can afford payments at a higher qualifying interest rate. So at
Oh,
this point, that rate is 4.79%. This number is usually a little higher, or a lot higher actually, than your qualifying interest rate that is in your mortgage contract. So let's say right now you're approved for a 1.5 mortgage rate. This
Mm-hmm.
1.5 rate is the actual rate for your payments. But to obtain the loan and show you can pass the stress test, you have to qualify at 4.79% as of today. So the issue that some people have is there's such a big disconnect, and with the stress test and your actual qualifying amount, it does reduce your borrowing capacity and your eligibility. I would highly recommend talking to a mortgage specialist or the bank and just seeing what you would qualify for if you have to end up going through the stress test.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for answering all of my questions. And is there something that you would like to advise my audience or viewers?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I know the market is a little crazy right now. I know sometimes it gets a little tiring for buyers looking at properties and maybe doing multiple offers before finally landing something, but everyone has to just stay strong, be committed to finding that property, and I'm sure it'll end up happening. It always does. And I'm sure the market, it won't stay like this forever. There's always ups and downs that the market goes through. So right now we're in a very aggressive period, and I'm sure eventually it'll slow down and it'll be a little less competitive. So
Yeah.
I do deal with the residential market as well as condos, and I do work on rentals as well. So if you need any advice, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, thank you for having me on this call.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time once again, Simmi.
No problem. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah. I hope you guys, this video will be helpful for all of you guys, especially for the people who are interested in buying a property or renting the property. I'll put the contact info for Simmi in the description box. So if you're interested, you can feel free to reach out to her. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in the comment box, and I'll definitely reply to your questions and queries. So we reached the end of the video, so you already know what I'm gonna say, right? You need to like, share and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you soon in my next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.